Hi, have you heard about the recent concept that has been going around? The concept of man. Man, M-A-N. So literally, I have been seeing people using that concept to explain uh, things that have to do with timing, duration, and basically to make people understand that there are different phases and things. And that is what I'll be using for today's video, to guide you through the different phases in career growth. But before I go into it, I would say welcome to my YouTube channel. And as you know, on this channel, what I do is to provide content that will support young people in their career growth and development. Now, let's jump into today's content properly. As I said earlier, I'll be talking about the concept of man, M-A-N. And in explaining that concept, what the acronym MAN relative to this particular video, M means morning, A means afternoon, and N means noon. You can replace the noon with evening. So I'll be using this acronym of MAN, or this concept of MAN, to explain the different phases that you need to look into carefully as you develop your career as a young person. Now, most persons do not understand that career is not just flat, it comes in phases. And so when you ignore this concept, what you find out is that you begin to struggle, or you do not know to when to go after one phase or the other. Let me explain. Someone who just graduates from the university will totally have a different demand and target as it has to do with someone who has spent 5 to 6 years. Similarly, to someone who has also spent 10 to 15 or even 20 years and more, has a total different target or expectation in his or her career. These are different phases. And so, understanding that you shouldn't be chasing what someone, if you are in the morning phase, understanding that you shouldn't be chasing what someone in the afternoon phase is chasing, or if you are in the afternoon, not chasing what someone in the noon or evening phase is chasing, will give you a lot of peace of mind. And one of the reasons we get frustrated in our career is not being able to chase what we need to chase appropriately based on the phases we are in our career. Now, on this video, what I will try to do is to explain the first letter as part of the acronym MAN. So I'll be explaining the morning phase. And why will I be explaining the morning phase? Simply because of young people who are just graduating, who are still trying to settle into career, trying to land. And in my own opinion, there are three things you need to focus on when you are just launching your career, when you just graduate, when you are looking for that job. There are three things you need to focus on to be able to position yourself for an effective and sustainable career growth. The first you need to focus on is experience. I will say that again. The first thing you need to focus on is experience. Little wonder you see young people putting out CVs here and there. You keep applying for one job or the other, and no one is calling you. And you keep wondering, is it because your village people are after you, or because you are not writing the CVs as expected, or the cover letters are not going well as expected? That could be a factor. But what I'm saying is that one major pitfall is that your CV is empty, is bereaved of experience. Is empty, no experience. And so if there are no clear experience on your CV, there is no capability that the potential employer will see and say this could be the right candidate. Yes, I've seen a lot of organizations that come up with graduate trainee and all that. That is to understand that you don't have experience and they want to train you to fit the roles. But there are a lot of organizations that cannot accommodate that strategy of getting people on board. So, and looking at the way the job market is so tight, you don't need to just focus on looking for those graduate training. You need to also say, how do I get this experience to fit in? So as a young person, the first thing you should look at is experience. How do I get this experience? There are many ways you could get this experience, but I will share two. One of the ways you could get it, and I've always said it and I'll keep echoing it into your ear, is volunteering. There are a lot of organizations out there that are looking for volunteers. Volunteer, and while you volunteer, that will be able to be a very incredible way of getting experience. The second is getting low paying jobs. So if your target is to get jobs that pay few hundreds of thousands, why not go to jobs that are less than hundreds of thousands and use those jobs as ladder to grow into the job you are expecting? So you either volunteer or you take low paying jobs to be able to build experience. The second thing you should be chasing is credence. Credence. Now, at the earlier phase of your job, people do not know what you can do and what you can't do. And so, what you should be chasing is how to provide credibility to your work, credibility to your person, credibility to your brand. People should be able to say, hey, Akoji can do this. Hey, Akoji can do that. They should be able to pinpoint that. And the only way you can get credence is by either getting the job experience or be able to prove it in your workplace. So you shouldn't be chasing money at that point. You shouldn't be chasing comfort at that point. You should be chasing credence, credibility, credibility. That's the second thing you should be chasing. And the third thing you should be facing when launching your career should be paying your bills. So you should be able to get a job that pays your bill. To be honest with you, I won't tell you that you shouldn't be looking for that. Because by the time you get the experience, you get the credibility, and you can pay your bills, then you can now settle down to start looking for the job of your dreams. One of the reasons people are being stranded today is because they don't want to start small. And I always tell people that the best time to look for a job is when you already have one. The best time to negotiate for salary is when you are already earning one. So most young people are not earning, but they are negotiating for big salaries. And that is why you can't negotiate well. I will talk about negotiating for salaries as time goes on and tell you how you can go about it. But I hope this video has been useful. But for the purpose of those who just come in between, I will still say the three things you should focus on at the morning phase of your career. One is experience. Two is credibility or credence. And third, you should be able to pay your bills. You should be able to pay your bills. At least you should be able to have money that will take you to work and come back. You should be able to have money that at least you can take lunch. I'm not saying you have to get money to be able to start living large. No, you should be able to pay your basic needs. By the time you are able to settle these three things at the morning phase of your career, trust me, landing or moving to your afternoon phase of your career will be on a speed zone. Thank you for listening.